why. By now, you're beginning to understand that self-mastery is the art of effectively leading yourself using self-awareness as your guide. Self-mastery is the insightful understanding of your own personality, values, tendencies, and beliefs, along with your ability to stand by those traits to forge your intentional path in life. It's important at this point to draw a distinction between the difference that exists between self-awareness and self-mastery, as it is a subtle but significant difference. Self-awareness focuses on recognizing the elements of your personal makeup, while self-mastery is more about understanding of the elements of self-awareness. It is the understanding of self-awareness that allows you to effect positive change. It's also about redirecting and reshaping the subconscious to better align with your intentional direction. Now, that's twice you've heard me mention the word intention. I want you to think of your intention as a determined focus to see things through long enough to master a skill or influence a belief you have that supports your goal or objective. While self-awareness is indeed an essential, fundamental element, self-mastery is where the magic happens. Jot this down in your workbook. Self-mastery is the art of leading yourself using self-awareness as your guide. As you begin to understand yourself, you begin to master yourself. Write that down in your workbook as well. Self-mastery is the substance of achievers. Self-mastery is where self-control and discipline are born. Self-mastery shapes your outlook from pessimistic to optimistic, intentionally choosing to see the good in every situation first. Self-mastery will enlighten you to lead with your intentional thought processes rather than your emotions, resulting in greater patience in situations that are beyond your control. Self-mastery will help you to recognize your priorities, correct your emotional reactions, and create new habits and rituals designed to meet your intentional path. Here are 3 tips you can use to help develop and reinforce your self-mastery. Practice them as a matter of routine, and you'll be amazed by the developmental changes you see in yourself, as well as the speed with which you begin changing. Write these 3 tips down in your workbook. 1. Talk to yourself. As strange as it may sound, there needs to be more than one you inside of you. This supports the multidimensional construct of human psychology. The more dimensions you can see, the more clarity and insight you'll have. As we can most all agree, there's a voice in our head, and that's completely normal. That voice is our internal dialogue, that place where we strive to make sense of the world around us. The first critical step in developing self-mastery is to become an observer of your thoughts, to become self-aware, self-reflective, to think about your own thinking. Doing so allows you to observe the voices without becoming overwhelmed by the sheer amount of information coming at you at any given moment. It also allows you to remain separated from it. Self-mastery through self-talk helps us to create an inner congruence, an agreement among and between the world outside, our internal interpretation, our emotional responses, and our learned responses. The second tip you can use to help develop and reinforce your self-mastery is play devil's advocate. Your ability to challenge your own thought patterns and reasoning reinforces your self-mastery. Playing devil's advocate through self-debate helps us to reveal weaknesses and vulnerabilities in our thinking. The self-critical analysis is among the best methods we can use to make better decisions and work out as many biases that cloud our judgment. This method works with virtually any situation you happen to be focused on. It is always better to analyze things from as many perspectives as possible. Playing devil's advocate helps you to do just that. So go ahead and debate with yourself. Purposely take an opposing point of view from your initial perspective or instinct. You could be surprised at some of the insights that develop. The third and final tip you can use to help develop and reinforce your self-mastery is take care of yourself. Self-mastery compels you to take an active approach in life. Your active role casts you as the performer, not the spectator. As a performer, you are the focus. Therefore, you are responsible to ensure you can perform at your best. No matter what approach you take to self-mastery, you require a healthy reserve of energy to help manage stress, overcome resistance, create momentum, and follow through with your intentions. Arguably, your primary energy resource is physical energy. This energy, if depleted, can rob you of the motivation to do much of anything else. You already know what it takes to reach an optimal state of physical energy through the balance of proper diet, rest, and exercise. So there'll be no lectures on that here. Suffice it to say, however, that a conscious effort on your part is the key to ensuring an optimal reserve of this precious resource. The final topic we'll cover in this lesson is your why. What is it that compels you to do the things you do? Connecting why you do something, anything, or everything actually, provides clues on several fronts. One of the most compelling clues has to do with connecting you to your purpose. Your purpose. We'll get to that later. But first, let's get back to your why. Your why is that force that compels you to do the things you do. We're going to see this word referenced quite a bit throughout this course because of the vital role it plays in connecting you to the power to overcome failure and the strength it has to sustain your achievements. Think of your why as your reason, your compelling reason for the desires you have. For example, did you know that if you pause long enough to evaluate why you do something, you'll know whether or not you'll ever follow through and complete a given task in the first place? Think about it. Sometimes we start things because we're forced to. How much enthusiasm is really behind your efforts to complete a task you're forced to take? Not much. If, on the other hand, you're compelled or driven to accomplish a task that you actually want to accomplish, the enthusiasm for the task is scaled exponentially. So, what's your why? What compels you to do the things you do, to get up every day and take action? Are you compelled by force or necessity? Or are you compelled by desire? Both are connected to your why, by the way, but only one is connected to your hope of escaping the status quo. Chances are, if you're forced to do something out of financial necessity, you still have a compelling why, which pretty much implies that you're among most people whose compelling why or force is based on survival. But that's not what this course is all about, is it? When you find yourself among most people, you find yourself among the ordinary. When you discover your compelling why, you open the door to the extraordinary. If you can't close your eyes and see past your survival why, you're not alone, and you're not without help. Rest assured you can gain clarity on your desirable why. But you have to desire to discover it. To gain that clarity on the why that will help you escape the status quo, ask yourself the following questions. Where am I when I'm the happiest? What am I doing when I'm the happiest? What do I see, smell, taste, hear, and feel when I'm at my happiest? Who am I with when I'm at my happiest? Do you notice a trend among these fairly straightforward questions? That's right. Happiness. Take some time to answer the questions in your workbook. Pause the video if you must. Incidentally, your answer to each of these questions leads you to the doorstep of your purpose. Surprised? You shouldn't be. Your happiness is intimately connected to your purpose and will help you recreate compelling reasons to pursue a path to your most extraordinary self. So, find some quiet time to get clear on what moves you. You must escape the noise to foster your innermost experience of self-discovery. Then, lock onto the visions that materialize before your mind's eyes, and then make your move. Action is the catalyst that creates real and lasting change. It is there where you'll find who you are and why you're here.